Webbed up with the truth. Yeah, the Molt's on deck. Knowledge web spun when the facts connect. Crawling through the dark where the secrets collect. Chatting spiders on the mic, what did you expect? The Molt, the Molt, welcome to the Molt. 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 The Molt, the Molt, the Molt, the Molt, the Molt, welcome to the Molt. The Molt, the Molt, the Molt, welcome to the Molt. 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 The Molt, the Molt, welcome to the Molt.
All right, hey guys, so I'm Jess from the Molt and Haus, and tonight we have the pleasure of talking to Logan, who is known as that bearded bug guy. Hey Logan.
How's it going? That intro was a bop. That was cool.
Right? It's a cool intro.
Mike did a podcast. I was watching this cool spider video, like, yeah, the Molt. That was cool.
You gotta show your dance moves like you did at Animal Con.
You gotta be at Animal Con to see the dance move. That's the VIP.
That was a lot of fun. So Logan, tell us a little bit about yourself. How did you get your name?
How did I get my name? Like my birth name or my Instagram name?
Your name. Obviously,
I don't know the story about my birth name. That bearded bug guy. Well, for a while, my account was actually just the bug guy. Because then, let's see, when was it? I think it was like late high school and then all through college and stuff. I did a lot of like student or like classroom stuff. So I would bring my animals to classrooms or children's museums and do like these presentations for kids. And it was fun. Like I did that a lot, like not paid or anything, just like, I don't know, inspiring kids. But I called myself the bug guy. And I had like little business cards and everything. And then when I first started my Instagram, that's what it was. It was the bug guy. But I had to put 2 underscores afterwards because somebody already took it. And I never liked it. And then, when was it? I think it was like, I don't know, a year and a half or so ago. Like I just thought like, I should change it. I should, if I'm actually doing social media seriously, like I need a good, solid username. And a lot of people in the hobby and like the industry just kind of knew me as like the bearded guy, right? Like at trade shows or, just, I don't know where else actually, probably just trade shows. But like they would just call me the bearded guy. And I'm like, hey, that kind of works. And so that bearded bug guy.
It's super catchy. So now we all want to know. This is the main question. How long have you had a beard?
Well, I tell people I was born with it. I came out looking like Cousin It. And then the older I got, the more it just kind of became proportional.
Got it.
But that's not a real answer. I haven't trimmed it. I mean, I've done like little trims. I haven't really shaved it in, I don't know, 4.5 years. But like through college and even late high school, I've had facial hair. It just wasn't until like 4 or 5 years ago that I decided I'm gonna stop trimming it, just let it grow, see what happens. And then it didn't stop growing, and it still hasn't stopped.
You have the fanciest beard I've ever seen in the Expo game.
Thank you.
So
when
you're feeding spiders and stuff, do you ever get some feeders stuck in there?
Sometimes. I've gotten in the habit of, if I'm feeding, now that it's pretty long, I'll put it in like a bun. Because if I'm holding, I've learned this the hard way. If I'm holding like a deli cup of crickets, like I won't be thinking about it, and my beard will be like in the cup, and they'll start jumping and climbing out of it. Or like if I lean over and like look in the cup, my beard just goes right into the cricket pile, and then I get crickets in the beard. So
Oh my God,
I haven't done that in a while. I've learned. So now if I'm feeding stuff, I usually put it in a bun or something.
oh my God, that's so funny. So we are clearly in your spider room. Do you want to talk to us about your spider wall?
My spider wall, the Great Wall of Spood. Yes. Can't really see it all. I don't really want to move my tripod around, but I will. Um, I moved my couch in front of the spider wall so you can't really see everything. But I've got most of my stuff up here, kind of in nice display enclosures, all bioactive, all live planted, cleanup crew, all the good stuff. And then over here, I have some like babies still in like juvenile cups or vials. But yeah, I just like having everything on display. I kind of like the zoo type aesthetic.
It's really, really nice. I mean, I love all of your content, obviously, and congratulations, by the way. You are now at 306,000. And I remember at AnimalCon, I feel like you're like at 30,000. So,
Yeah, it took off since then. But thank you. Yeah. No, this
what video
promo
do you
is.
feel like?
What's that?
What video do you feel took it off?
There was one where I was showing and feeding the baby P. Gallus, and that one did really well. There's been a few that have done like really well, but this one has definitely been like the best so far. That one did well, but then it like snowballed, and so because that one did well, a bunch of other ones started picking up traction and stuff, and so it just kind of like I don't know, snowballed.
I love it. You do awesome content, and it's always funny as heck, too. I mean,
Thank
you
you.
know, I'm a big fan of your morning geckos and your lesbian army.
Yep. Probably one of the things I'm best known for.
100%. I feel like you started that trend.
Yeah. Yeah, I like to say I'm the reason why they've gotten so expensive over the last year. But I don't know if that's true.
I'm going to say yes.
Oh, hey, Benny. What's up, buddy? I see your chat.
So I wanted to ask you, because I know you do shows, but okay, so you are doing this full time, right?
Doing what full time? Caring for animals and stuff?
Is it like animals? That's like your full time job, right?
No, I still have a 9 to 5. And for those who don't know, I do the digital marketing. I'm the marketing guy for Exoterra. So that's why I end up going to all the shows. And then before that, I was working at another like animal retailer. So I'd go to a lot of shows for them. But yeah, so I do a lot of shows. But then I still like creating content, caring for all the animals. Like that all happens like from 5 o'clock till 9 o'clock. And then on weekends and stuff. Basically, whenever I'm not working, because it's all the time.
Got it. Well, I mean, that's awesome though that your 9 to 5 job, you still get to do basically things with kind of animals, right? It's still content.
Yeah,
creation.
and it's remote. Like I stay home and work, so like it's really fun being able to take like 10-minute breaks and just coming downstairs and looking at everybody, and or if there's projects I'm working on or animals that need something, like it's really easy just to like always be on top of it.
That's awesome. So when you're away, who takes care of your animals?
It depends. Like if it's just a weekend trip, typically everything's okay. I'm very blessed in that I have a partner who's also really into animals and the hobby and like loves the whole collection and stuff. Because I keep a lot more than spiders. Like there's a lot of snakes, a lot of geckos and lizards and tortoises and frogs and like you name it, it's in the basement. And so it's nice when if I'm just gone for a few days, like everything's good except for maybe like the iguana needs some food or the tortoises or the frogs or something need something like little. A lot of times I'll just leave and like make sure everybody's fed and watered before I go, and then it's good. Like especially in the summer when it's hot and humid, like tanks,
Yeah.
especially spiders, like they don't dry out that quickly. Like temperatures are good. Like I don't really stress about leaving for a few days. This last summer we did a couple trips. One of them now was like a week long. And then for that I just had somebody come and stay at the house and wrote out a whole day by day instructions, and most of it was just like keep an eye on this or fill this water bowl. This tank likes to dry out, mist it down, and like kind of easy stuff. I try to save all the like feeding and all the like, especially spiders and snakes. Like it's easy to ask somebody to throw in some crickets with like your toke geckos who are never out during the day, or some other geckos that aren't that fast or anything. But to ask somebody to like feed your spiders or your snakes or your alligator or like any of this like that's too much. And so I'll do all that like right before I leave, and then do it right after I get back. I mean, we're lucky that the animals that we keep are like really resilient and adaptable and super tough. Like there's exceptions. Like there's definitely animals that need something every day, every other day, or something special. But for the most part, like especially spiders, like as long as they don't dry out, as long as they're fed well beforehand, like you can let them sit for a little while and they'll be fine.
Yeah, that's the one thing I definitely love about keeping spiders, especially when I travel. That they're a little bit of the easier ones that I'm like, don't worry about it, guys. Like whoever's babysitting, don't worry about my spiders.
Oh yeah. Can you imagine what like bird people have to go through?
Yeah, seriously, I can just.
How do you do that?
So you mentioned you have an alligator. It's not every day that you meet someone that has an alligator. How did that happen?
Oh man, somebody dumped it on me. Well, not really. I rescued her, so she's a rescue. I've had her about 9 years, and she's stunted. So years and years ago, somebody was keeping her in really shitty conditions in the basement, just not being fed anything, and yeah, really stunted her growth. So I've had her for like 9 years now, and she's totally rebounded. She's super healthy, really sassy. She's only like, I'd say probably 3.5 feet.
Oh,
Yeah, she's not that big, but she's also like, not a harmless little lizard or anything. Like a 3.5 foot gator can still do quite a bit of damage. But yeah, she's been growing a little bit every year, so I don't know how big she's going to be. Some people who rescue stunted gators, like they grow all the way and get full size. Some like never grow at all, like Rex at Snake Discovery. Like that one was kept in a box, I think they said, for like 20 years. And so like that gator's never growing again. It's just stuck at that size.
Oh my god, that is so crazy. Well, it's awesome that you like took her in and give her a good home.
I tried to, yeah. She's quite a handful, a big responsibility, and not something I recommend people do.
Definitely not your everyday pet.
No, no, yeah.
So I just saw you also posted Noah's new print. Was that of your snake?
Yeah, that was Big Blue. That was the 10-foot male Vietnamese blue beauty snake. Yeah, he also has one who's still younger, and it's one of those snakes. Like I'm really passionate about this snake or this species of snake. So if you get me going, you got to tell me to stop because I won't stop. I'll just keep talking about them. But they're one of those species that I think are extremely not underappreciated, but maybe underrepresented in the hobby, where they get a lot bigger than what people think. Um, like they've really picked up popularity in the last like 3 to 4 years, 5 years or so, which is great. Like I love seeing them at every trade show I go to, at more than one table. Seeing people buy them, like that's awesome because it's such a cool snake, intelligent, curious, beautiful, like everything you could want. But they get freaking big, like big. Like there's reports of, I have a friend who's a breeder who she got one from the first import they came in on in the like mid 90s, and it died at 12 and a half feet. And then her friend had one that died, or I don't know if it died, but is at 14 feet. Also, if you hear all that scratching, that's the iguana. If I'm down here, she really wants to like be out, but I don't feel like babysitting right now because she'll try to climb on all the tanks and stuff. But yeah, they get huge, and so Big Blue's 10 feet. He's almost
Big.
8 years old. Yeah, and still growing. And so Noah has one, and I keep mine in a big 8 foot by like 7 foot grow tent, like live plants and a pond, and like really set up nice. And he reached out and was like, "Hey man, like I would love to like use Big Blue as a reference and do a cool painting." And like he was saying how, yeah, he wants to like eventually get him set up similar to like how I'm keeping him, and so it made me feel very proud.
Yeah, I see a ton of content. Super beautiful. And I saw the print, and I actually bought that print in St. Louis.
Good.
And so then I'm like, this looks so familiar. And I didn't like put two and two together until you made your post. And I'm like, that's his snake.
Yeah. Yeah, now you have a portrait of Big Blue.
Oh, yeah, I have it up. It's super pretty. No, it did such a good job. And obviously,
Yeah.
your snake is a beautiful reference.
Thanks.
You brought up the tents. So I did want to ask you about that because I always see your setups, and your setups are always super, super nice. But I do see that you do
Thank you.
tent setups. So tell me a little bit about your tent setups. What are like pros and cons of it? All that.
Yeah. So I have two grow tent enclosures. One of them is for Big Blue. It's 8 feet by 4 feet, and I can't remember if it's 6.5 or 7 feet tall, but tall enough for me to walk around in. And yeah, he's got a 40-gallon pond in there. He's got big tree branches and big cork tubes for him to hide in, and live plants everywhere. And it's cool. I like it a lot. He likes it a lot. As soon as he moved in, like he calmed way down. He, got really curious instead of kind of like on edge. As far as pros and cons, I think they work great for snakes. Specifically like snakes that don't need a bunch of heating, because you have, you can't put the heat light above the tank on screen or anything. It has to go in the tank. So he has a small, I think it's like 35 watts. Like it's a really small light bulb in a big dome. So he can bask. They don't like it above room temperature anyway. So like it helps him, if he wants to get a little warmer, he can, but like, he's got 7 feet of space. So at the bottom, it's like 68 degrees, 67. At the top, it's like 75. So he can kind of choose wherever he wants to be. And yes, they work great for snakes. All the like duct ports on the sides are just zip tied up so he can't like go through there. The screens, that's why I say they work great for snakes, I think, because the screens on them, like I would be worried about putting like a monitor lizard or a tegu or something in there, because I feel like their claws could just go right through that. But they hold in heat and humidity really well, which is kind of one of the reasons I went with it, just because like I live in Michigan and I keep everything in a basement where my furnace is. So like this room right now, it's actually not that bad. It's 47%. But like I remember last winter, it got down to like 20% in here, and I had the humidifier running just 24/7. Like I went through like 4 gallons of DI water every 24 hours or something crazy. But yeah, so the grow tents work great. They have limitations, like you can't really set up big heat sources in there, but it's they're affordable. I think that big one was like $300 or something, and then you can kind of just do whatever you want on the inside. The second one that I have is 4 foot by 2 foot by 6 feet, and that's for the female Blue Beauty. And that one I cut out the door and I put like a vinyl window on there. That way I could actually see in it. Because that's the other thing, is like they have those little square windows. And so like if your snake or your animal likes privacy, then like it probably works out. Or maybe you're trying to breed something and you just kind of want to leave them alone. But to view it is tricky. And so I made the window. And it works pretty good. Like no issues or anything with it. It's not like a perfect window, the ripples and everything kind of distort it. But yeah, I like them. I mean, they're cheap enough where I don't feel bad if I need to replace it in a few years. But they offer a lot of space and are cheaper and easier than building one.
Okay, cool. So have you ever, someone asked in the comments, have you ever bred blue?
This spring, I will. So when I bought him from a pet store back in college, and this is before like anybody knew what a blue beauty snake was. Like they really didn't get popular until like a few years ago. Um, and I always wanted to get a female for him, and so I figured like, oh, I'm gonna try to find one. And whenever I Google it, like nothing would pop up. This was before Morph Market. Um, I didn't know about fauna classifieds or anything like that. I would just kind of Google it every month or something to see if anybody posted one, and nothing. Never found one. And then 4 years later, I got a little baby, and they take a while to breed. The females have to be like 4 years old, and so I was like, all right, in 4 years, I'll be able to breed them. And so this spring, they will finally be paired together. Stella that's the female. She will move into Big Blue's big tent. Um, and yeah, it'll be like 8 years of waiting, but I'm excited.
That's exciting. Well, I hope the best for those two, and I hope they lock. Fingers crossed.
Yeah.
So, I love your morning geckos. How many geckos do you think you probably have in there?
I don't know. Probably between 100 and 300. But like,
you had it.
I don't know. If somebody told me there's 500 in there, I'd be like, yeah, that sounds right. Like the other thing too is like there's probably just as many outside of the enclosure than inside. I find them every day just in the house. Like there's certain spots in the basement that they like to hang out on. So like if I want to find one, like I probably can. Like I know a few spots they normally are at, and then if I come down at night, I can usually find a couple of them. But yeah, I find them every day, just like moving stuff or like upstairs. They've been in like the kitchen, the bathroom. I found them on my back deck before. I found them in my car before. Like they've escaped and then they just breed in the basement because I've escaped fruit flies and crickets everywhere. And so just what are you gonna do?
So how long ago did you start your little army?
I think it was like 4 years, maybe 3.5. But I started with like 8 of them, all adult females. And then I think like a year later, I added another like 4. But they've just exploded. Like at first, they were living in a 75-gallon with Big Blue, the Big Blue snake, back when he was a baby. And they all got along. And then I made this big room for Big Blue built into my basement. And he lived in that for like 6 months. And I put all the morning geckos in there. Over like a month, I caught them all out of that enclosure and like slowly just kind of moved them in there. But Big Blue didn't stay in there for very long because the enclosure kept getting too warm. Like one of the walls is like my basement wall, like the brick basement wall. And so in the summer, it gets really hot, and they don't like it that warm. And so in the summer, it got too warm for him, and he got a respiratory infection. And so he moved out, but the morning gecko stayed. And I just had iguana jump. I just had more fun watching the geckos like all the time. Because it's like herping, right? You're this giant, not bedroom, but like small closet size enclosure with live plants and a pond, and and you're looking for these little geckos. Like it's so much fun to just stand there, and the longer you stand there, the more that you see. And so yeah, so I was like, all right, this is the morning gecko enclosure now, and I just kept feeding them, and they kept breeding.
I love it. I love especially your Disney moment, Disney princess.
Yeah, that was actually the 3rd time I've done that, and it was the best results I've had. The first time, no geckos came down. The second time, I had one gecko on the plate, and another gecko, like, I think jumped down at the end, but didn't stay, just jumped right off. But this time, they actually like tons of them came down. So I'm wondering what the next time will be like. Because if they're getting used to me, I feel like it's not long until they just all
Cover you.
Yeah. I'll just pour it all over my face and the beard and.
You should do like, oh, what was that show when we were kids? And it was like on the, I forget what network it was, but they used to put all that green like goo on people.
Oh,
Like, dump
yeah, the slime, the Nickelodeon slime.
like green slime. You could do it like that.
Yeah. Oh, that would be great. I'll be the gecko's best friend after that.
Mm-hmm. So I saw you went to Alaska recently. Were you herping when you were out there?
No, there's barely any herps in Alaska.
Like anything. What cool stuff did you see while you were out there?
We saw Mama Grizzly with her cub just walking around. That was cool. We were out on the boat. We got some whales jumping around us, and we saw like seals and sea lions and eagles everywhere, like bald eagles everywhere. Trying to think what else. But yeah, my whole family, like extended family, like that's where they all are from. Like both my parents grew up there, and so my uncle got married. And so we went up there for a week and had the family wedding and got to see everybody after a really long time of not being up there. But yeah, not a lot of herps. In the summer, there's frogs sometimes.
Okay.
Like for a couple months out of the summer, you can find frogs. I don't think there's any snakes. I think they have like wolf spiders, or grass spiders, but not a whole lot of bugs, except mosquitoes. There's tons of mosquitoes. Jeez.
That'd be huge.
Yeah. But other than that, I think that was all we saw. It was fun. The bear and the cub, or like the mama bear and cub, were really exciting. Because my grandma came running into the room and she's like, Logan, like, my friend just called me and said that, there's a bear and cub out at the estuary. And my partner, she really wanted to see a bear. And so I was like, let's do it. And so we took her car and drove out there, and we were looking for this bear, and we were like about to give up. And then we were kind of walking back to the car, and we turn around, and it was just walking out of where we just were like in the area of, and I was like, oh, that was kind of close, but really cool.
That's so awesome.
Yeah.
So what spiders do you have behind you? What are you keeping?
I keep everything that I like. There's not a whole lot of rhyme or reason to it. There's a lot of there's a lot of Poecilotheria. So there's Regalis, Metallica, a couple Rufilata, Sapusca Highland, Sapusca Lowland, Ornata, and then a bunch of baby Regalis still. I still have like 25 or so babies. And then I have a couple versicolors. I've got a Avic as well as a Avic Purpurea, Samopos Aminia, Samopos Victori, D. Diamantinensis. Let's see. And then some like old world like terrestrial fossorials. So like a couple Balfouri, a couple C. marshalli, like the straight horned baboons, Harpactira pulchripes, and then a couple, let's see, what do we have over here? Grammostola pulchripes, Brachytoma hamori. Oh, and I got some cool like true spiders. So like the Limetheli, like the curtain web spiders. Those are like my favorite. So I have three, what are they? The Limetheli phalanx, and then another Sericata, and then the Harmonicon, the French Guyana curtain web spider. And then a couple Celadonia. I've got, just a few other random, like a couple baby Brachy's. I've got another baby Metallica. Got a Vietnam Silver. I've got a Fimbriatus. And then some centipedes, a scorpion. I see Benny's comment. Yeah, there's a Theraphosa apophysis right here, who's actually soon is moving into a big 75-gallon. I have it. That's what's sitting on the floor right behind the couch here. There's a big 75-gallon with like custom background. So pretty soon I'm going to be doing a full escape for her, because she deserves it. They're big spiders. They need big homes.
Are you gonna do a video on that?
Oh yeah,
Oh, that's
probably.
funny. I like your enclosure posts. It's super nice.
I always want to make videos for everything, but here's the issue. Like I work 9 to 5, and like keeping up with all the animals takes like most of my time. And so like to do something like creative, like I don't know, I'll do it on the weekends or if I have free days or something. But like it takes a lot of time, and so there's been a number of times where I'm like, I'm gonna make a video on this, and then like it make like I don't know. Anyone who tries to record themselves do something can understand that it takes like twice as long to do it while recording. And so I'll just end up kind of putting it off, and then I'll just say, screw it, I'm doing it without the camera. And so, yeah, so hopefully I do it on camera and not just poop out and not.
I mean, it's hard. I feel like recording takes long, and then it starts feeling like a little bit like so much work, and then like editing and all that. I think like people don't realize like the little clip that you guys see for like a couple seconds or like a minute or whatever it is took hours and hours to do.
Oh, yeah. And then, like, my undiagnosed OCD, just having to get like the right clip, the right angle, the right lighting, the right audios, the right, everything has to match up to be like a full cinematic experience. Like I don't know, I just want everything to be how I envision it. And like with animals, you can't tell them what to do, so you'll have this idea of like, oh, I'm gonna do this reel with my animal or something, and then it doesn't participate, and then your whole idea is ruined.
Yeah, no, I get it. I'm like super hard on myself when I'm like doing everything with editing and all that. I'm slow at putting content out for that reason because I'm so picky and overthink every single shot.
Yeah.
So,
oh yeah.
I totally
Yeah,
get
it takes
it.
a lot of time.
Yeah. So Animal Con, did you have fun at Animal Con?
Oh yeah, I freaking love Animal Con. Just count down the days until the next one, because that's a lot of fun.
I know. Hopefully, no hurricane this time.
No what?
No hurricane warning this time.
Oh, we were fine. What's Florida without a little hurricane warning here and there?
I know. I left on Monday. When did you leave?
I think Monday.
Yeah, I left Monday.
Yeah. I remember getting to the airport and it was like just starting to get crazy. But I think it worked out because they staffed for the idea that like everybody's going to be leaving. And so when I got there, like there were so many employees working that like I got through that real quick, and I had to check a couple bags and stuff, and I was worried. I'm like, shoot, I should have planned for this. And then no, it was quick and easy.
Lucky. I got delayed a bunch of times, but I was able to leave on Monday night. I know some people ended up like getting their flights changed, or like I think Wednesday it was that they closed the airport. It was yeah, it was pretty crazy.
Part of me kind of thought it would be fun to like stay and experience it, but there'll be more. It's Florida.
Yeah,
This next Animal Con.
And we had good weather for the most part.
Yeah. Oh yeah. No, it was fun.
Did you have fun at Gatorland?
Did I what?
Did you have fun at Gatorland?
Yeah, I love Gatorland. I got to go in with the giant leucistic alligator, which was cool.
Yeah, I saw that photo.
Yeah, you saw that photo?
I saw a photo of it.
That was fun. Yeah,
it was
always cool. I always have such mixed feelings about it though, because like it is so much fun that I want to spend all day there. And it's like we get there at Sunday evening, and like I was at Animal Con with Exoterra, so I wasn't there as a creator. So like I'm working at the booth, before the show opens to when after the show closes. So like the show closes and I'm like packing up our entire booth. I'm doing all that breakdown and then having to like rush over to Gatorland. And so it's a lot of fun and I want to spend all day there, but by the time you get there, it's already getting dark. Half the park's closed, and so I think I just need to make a trip like separate from Animal Con, or maybe next year I'll just spend like an extra day there.
Yeah, no,
And
for
I'll
sure.
just do my own trip.
Yeah, it was fun, but yeah, it did get dark pretty fast while we were there, and I was like, oh, we don't get to see all of it, but the parts we did get to experience, it was fun.
Oh
I
yeah.
had a lot of.
Did you feed a gator?
I did. I got to do 2 of the chicken drumsticks.
Was that cool?
It was so cool, and it was kind of like nice to see like how calm they all were, and like you can tell they're kind of used to like the experience and getting fed, and it was just nice to see, and then you see like all the eyes just like focusing on you,
Oh
and then you're
yeah.
like, I don't know where to throw the chicken. 'Cause
I
all the
will say
front ones.
I will say that's the cool part about going there at night is like if you got a flashlight, man, how many eyes you see when you shine it out over those ponds is crazy.
Yeah, just watching you. Oh my god, and that huge gator that they have. I don't know what the name of it was. I hope they have it named. But wow, it was huge.
I didn't hear that my iguana was being obnoxious.
I said the one gator that they have, I always forget the name, but it's like their biggest one there. I can't remember the name, but it's a huge one that they have. It's
Yeah,
like
I
one
don't
is
have
the
any.
talking about. So, with the holidays being here, what do you think about holiday gift giving as far as like reptiles, arachnids, all that? Like, what are your thoughts on that?
I think it is perfect because you already know what somebody loves. Like if you got a friend who keeps animals or spiders or something, like you know they're passionate about that. So you already got like you already know what to get them. Like get them something related to that, and you're good. I'm not the biggest fan of getting people animals for holidays though. Like I don't like the idea of surprising an animal on somebody because that's a big responsibility. And like oftentimes, like say you get a baby spider for Christmas, and it's like, all right, if you have a bunch of spiders already, then it makes sense. But for just somebody who has a couple or none or one, like, all right, like are they prepared for that? Do they have stuff to take care of it? Like then are they just going and spending their own money to buy stuff that I don't know. So I always just say like get somebody like care items, you know, like get them gift cards to get new UV lights or get them plants or get them, you know, like cool branches. Like we're weird. We love cool sticks. You know, we're like a loyal dog. We'll go out in the woods and we'll find the best stick ever. And so, yeah, if you could get somebody like some really cool sticks, like that's a perfect Christmas gift. or
It
or
really
a bag
is.
of dead leaves or something.
It's so funny that you say this because so I go to like our local shows pretty often, and then every once in a while, there's West Coast Woodworks comes through, and they like do a drop off shipment at Chicago Reptile House. Um, and I'll always come home with a ton of wood, and my boyfriend's like, I don't understand why you need more wood. There's bins and bins of wood here, and I'm like, because this one looks so
It's the
cool. It's
right wood. Yeah.
like, what if I don't see this shape again? And I'm just like, I know eventually I'll use it for something. So it's funny you say that. And even when I went on my Tennessee trip, I went camping and I literally brought huge garbage bags and I was like loading up a bunch of like leaves at the end of the trip.
Yep.
So all you see in my trunk is like my big Corso dogs and then like bags of like
Oh yeah.
leaf.
Yeah. I remember in college I had a kayak and I would take it down to the river and I would kayak along the banks and just load it up with cool branches and stuff that I found. And then I would just tie them to the roof of my car and drive back with a kayak and a bunch of sticks tied to the roof.
It is a really good gift though. I'm not like it's funny, but it is a really good gift, especially for us
Yeah.
who calls and
Plus,
spiders.
like good wood is expensive. Like you go buy a 3-foot manzanita branch or something like that. That's like a $40-$50 branch. You know, like I don't want to spend that kind of money. Like if somebody were to give that to me as a gift, I would be very thankful.
Yeah,
Like that'd be a
seriously.
perfect gift.
It's expensive. I got into aquatics recently too, and so like I've been doing aquascaping and like I've been using different like wood in there. It's so expensive.
Wait till you get into the rocks.
Oh, I know. Trust me. I could not believe how much rocks were. Like, I'm like,
Yeah.
God, I thought like reptiles and arachnids were expensive keeping. Like, fish
Fish
is
are
a
crazy.
whole,
Yeah.
yeah, it's a whole other ball game. Do you keep any aquatics or no?
Uh, Not really. I have. I like them. The thing is, like, I don't have a whole lot of space, and so if I'm gonna get a fish tank, it's got to go in the basement with the rest of the animals because the concrete floor, and I've already used up all of my space. Um, but I've kept some. I've kept, just like smaller freshwater stuff, or I've done paludariums where I've done, some like shrimp or some like loaches or some like just rasbora or like some smaller stuff in there. And that's really fun. I'm actually hoping to do a big 36 by 36 paludarium, probably start it next week. But I want to do a big paludarium for my green keeled bellied lizards because I
Oh,
heard
that
that yeah, I heard that they have a lot of aquatic behaviors that nobody sees because we don't set them up with like a big body of water. Um, so I'm gonna drill the tank and attach like a canister filter and have it be like predominantly water, but then add like fish and shrimp. I've got a vampire crab over here too. I thought about putting in there.
that would be pretty cool. Oh my God, if you do that, I definitely want some updates on this. I bet that'll be awesome.
Yeah, that one will definitely be a video.
Oh, I definitely want to see that. I'm trying to think what other questions we have for you. Someone wanted to know what products you use on your beard.
What products I use on my beard? It kind of depends on what I'm doing. I normally do like wax in the mustache. I haven't done that for a couple weeks, but beard oil and beard balm, just high quality stuff. You know, keep it clean, keep it hydrated. Um, that's the biggest thing about having a beard is you got to keep it clean. Like nobody wants a dirty beard. Nobody wants to like see that on your face. So like I religiously clean it, oil it, brush it. Uh, especially if I dip it in a cup of crickets, you know.
The crickets are poking out. Okay, so I have to ask, what is your favorite spider?
Hmm. I have a couple different answers. So I would say probably Poecilotheria regalis. The one, my girl, she's right up there. She's the one that had all the babies that made me go viral. So I kind of, got to respect her for that. But she was also my first old world tarantula. I've had her for like 10 and a half years now. So she was like the OG, one of the first ones. Um, and they're just super cool. They're big, they're beautiful, they're, for being a big old world tarantula, like they don't really have that much attitude. Like some of the other pokies are just like really kind of twitchy. Like they're just kind of always on edge. Like they always are just ready to react. Where like she's just calm. I don't know if it's because she's older, because I've had her for a decade or what, but like I'm not worried about her running out or throwing a threat posture or like I don't handle her, but like I probably could if I wanted to. I just think she's really cool. Um, I also, it's not a tarantula, but probably my all-time favorite spider is Lenothelli phalanx, which is the tiger curtain web spider. I have a big adult female. Oh, you can't even see the top shelf. Oh, more spiders. So I have my big female in that corner, and then I have a couple more babies over there. Um, and they're like gorgeous, like black and orange chevron like stripes, kind of like an Arminia. Really long legs and then really long spinnerets, and they make like this really cool, like I mean, like their name says, it's a curtain web spider. It looks like somebody takes a curtain and just drapes it over everything. Like it's super thick webbing, just tunnels everywhere, almost like a GBB would. Um, and then just yeah, they have really good feeding responses. They're kind of creepy looking, but I don't know. I saw a picture of one. I don't know. How long have you been keeping spiders?
I've been keeping spiders for like, I'm gonna say like 8 years now. I
Okay.
didn't start until like 3, 4 years ago.
Okay. So you know the name Ken the Bug Guy.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's like it, 10 years ago, if you were to get a spider, like that's the only place you would get it from. Like there, back in the day, there wasn't, tons of breeders selling. There wasn't stores shipping them. Like there was a few people who were doing it. But I saw a picture of one of those that Ken the Bug Guy had, and I was like, no freaking way, this is the coolest thing ever. And so I screenshot it, and I was like, I want to buy this one day. Never saw them again. And I remember every show that I would go to, looking online, like that would just always be in the back of my mind. I was like, this cool spider's out there somewhere. And then I went to a show and I saw two babies and I almost lost it. I bought both of them, of course. One is a mature female, which is her, and the other one was a male, which I sent out to somebody to breed. He got eaten right away, so but that's life. Um, and then I have a couple more babies, and then I will continuously buy them when I see them because they're so cool to me, and I never want to like not have them now. Like I think I went like 12 years or something from seeing that picture till actually like owning one. Um, so that's probably one of my favorites. I'm trying to think, I've got a lot of favorites. I recently got an Avicularia purpurea, and
Oh,
that has been a species I've been wanting since like 2014. Because I went to Ecuador, and I read that purpurea lives in Ecuador, and so I was like, shit, I'm gonna find one. And we went hiking like all through the cloud forest and the Andes, and like never found one. I didn't know what I was doing, but I was just hoping I would turn a corner and there would be a big purple spider on a tree or something. Um, and so I recently got that one, which is another like check off the box. But I don't know. There's not really a whole lot of like patterns to like what spiders you keep. Like obviously there's a lot of pokies. I love pokies. But if I find a new spider where it's like it either looks really cool or has some really cool like behavior that it does, or just something kind of unique about it, then like yeah, it goes on the list.
So I noticed you said you didn't mention jumpers when you said what you keep. What's up with that?
Yeah. So I love jumpers. Love them. And if you didn't know, I went to school for entomology. And so I was working in the lab and I was talking to the postdoc I was working with, and he's like, well, have you thought about like grad school and like what you'd want to do your thesis in and stuff like that? Because like for the longest time, my plan has always been I'm going to get my PhD in entomology. I'm going to be Dr. Hope. Sounded super cool. And then I worked in an entomology lab with PhD students and postdocs, and I realized like 95% of their work is just like crunching data and writing papers. I'm like, that doesn't look like fun. I love the field work part. Like that was the coolest, but I wasn't a big fan of just being trapped in the lab. Um, but I was going to like my biggest idea through that was like I was thinking about doing my thesis on like jumping spiders and like jumping spider ecology and stuff like that, and their eyesight. Their eyesight's super cool. Um, but I don't know. I've always just been able to enjoy them outside. Like we have them all around the house, and so all spring and summer we'll, play with them outside. We have maybe some that move inside, and we'll feed. Like I think a couple weeks ago we were playing with one in the kitchen that I guess has been living in the kitchen where it was dropping down from like the overhead vent to like try to catch a moth by the light, and so we were just giving it crickets, and we've seen it a few more times. Um, and then one time we caught a big female, laid an egg sac. We're like, oh, this will be cool to watch, and it hatched all the babies. And we're like, well, what now? Do we put them outside? And so we decided just to let them loose in the basement. And so we found them for like the next year, you know, just bigger every time we found one, it was just a little bit bigger. I haven't seen any adults though, so I don't know, maybe they moved out, but I do love jumping spiders.
They're
I
super
remember when
cool.
the peacock jumping spider, when that video first started
Oh, yeah.
like circulating the web, and that was I watched that like 20 times, showed it to everybody I knew. But
I feel
I
like
do
people
love jumpers.
video came out.
What's up?
Everybody wanted one.
I know, and then it's like, dude, they're literally like this big, and like they live ways away. Like you're not getting one.
Yeah, seriously. I'm like, oh, that's not something you're gonna find here. But
Yeah.
I never get to see jumpers around my house. Like unless they're from my nursery that got loose babies and they're just like living in the house. Like I never get to see like any here in Chicago. So you're lucky.
Yeah, that sucks for you. Good thing they're all over inside the house.
Yes, exactly. Well, thank you for joining us, Logan. Seriously, I appreciate you, and congratulations again on your super viral following, my friend. You superseded the goal you had for yourself this year, so that's awesome. Again, thanks for showing us your awesome wall of food over there. Do you want to like show us a little closer clips for you?
What was that last part? I was busy doing that angel sound.
Do you want to show us a little bit closer look before you leave?
Yeah. Let me get this phone on here. This is the VIP bearded bug guy tour. Well, my couch is in the way now, so I'm just sit on it. So let's start over here. I mean, you can kind of see. Like, there's my big. Can you see her? Oh.
Mm-hmm.
Going back down. Here's the phalanx I was telling you about. Look at this webbing.
Wow.
Can you see the spider back there?
A little bit. Like I see a leg and a butt right there.
Yeah. Oh, and it ran. It's like jet black. But that's. I don't know.
Oh, that
I love
webbing.
that. Yeah, and then we got, you know, there's a bunch of random stuff. I don't know what you want to see. I gotta clean the glass also. Everything's dirty.
It happens. I feel like you clean it and then like a second later it's dirty again.
Yeah, because they freaking wait for you to clean it, and then they're like, "Oh, this is clean. Don't mind if I just shit all over it." I've also got a bunch of like weird roaches and isopods and some stuff mixed in here too.
I feel like you got some roaches that I wanted. Oh, you just posted them just like a couple weeks ago.
Ooh, the orange dominoes.
Yes, so pretty.
Let me see if I can find one. Come here.
You know, if younger me thought that I would be like fangirling over some roaches older, I don't know if I would believe myself.
Oh no, shit! She fell. This is really hard with one hand.
So pretty.
She's falling. Doop doop doop. All right, I'm gonna put her back in before she falls off again. Have you heard of the extinct in the wild roaches?
Uh-huh.
Those are cool. I'm on my third generation of them.
Do you have any emeralds?
No, not yet. They're expensive.
They are. I want some so bad though.
Me too. Like I'm down if somebody wants to trade like for something else. Like my orange dominoes haven't had babies yet, but I feel like I would trade those for some emeralds.
Mm-hmm. They're super pretty. I know Fairmont had last year around the holiday season. They had some. We haven't seen any in stock in a while.
Yeah. Also, here's the Tokay tank.
So pretty. How's it been trying to collect babies from there?
Collecting baby Tokays is a freaking nightmare. Also, it doesn't help that they just won't stop making more. And so I think we're at, I don't know, 16 babies hatched total. 16. in a
16.
really densely planted tank with like backgrounds with like cork tubes and everything. So like once they get a little bit bigger, like it's not that bad. The trick is to catch them before they get too big where their bites hurt, because like to catch a tokay, you're getting bit.
Mm-hmm. No matter what.
Yeah, no matter what.
Yeah. So where can everyone find you? I know Instagram, that bearded bug guy. Do you have Facebook for your page or no?
Nope, just Instagram and TikTok, but I don't really post on TikTok that much. I don't know. I like the community part of Instagram way more. So Instagram's probably the best. I don't post on it all the time. Like maybe once a week I'll do a post, but I always post a bunch on my story. So I always keep my story, like something's on there, and I try to just put cool stuff on there of just like what I'm doing or some cool animal shots or something. But yeah, that's probably the best place. And then I'm hoping, and I feel like if I say this, I'm going to hold myself to it, but I'm hoping next week I'm going to be filming my first YouTube videos.
Oh, heck yes. And so
I know, it's about
that
time.
bearded bug-
What's that?
on YouTube, are you that bearded bug guy also?
Yep, same username.
Right. Make sure you follow Logan on his YouTube, that bearded bug guy, for that first video. We're going to hold him accountable, y'all.
Yeah.
Thanks so much. Okay,
Well,
what's the next show I'm seeing you at?
what?
What's the next show I'm seeing you at?
Pomona, right? Aren't you going?
I'm supposed to go. I'm not vending, but I'm just going.
Yeah, I'll be there. Other than that, what is it? December. There's not really any shows in February. Probably March Tinley for sure.
Okay, I'll see you in March, Tinley, if I don't see you in Pomona, but I'm pretty sure I'll see you there. I mean, I'm always going to come by and see what cool new enclosures you built.
Look for the beard. Maybe I'll put some like Christmas lights in it or something.
You should take a picture like that. Maybe put some like
Yeah.
your little spiders in there or something.
Yeah. I could put like have how baby spiders live in those little dram vials? I could turn them into Christmas ornaments and hang them in the beard.
That would be so cute. Do it.
I'll do it just for you.
Yay. All right. Well, if I don't talk to you before the holidays, happy holidays. Thanks for joining
You
us.
too.
Yeah. That good guy.
Cool. Well, thanks for having me on. I had a lot of fun talking with you.
All right. Have a good night. Bye.
All right. See ya.
Webbed up with the truth. Yeah, the Molt's on deck. Knowledge web spun when the facts connect. Crawling through the dark where the secrets collect. Chat spiders on the mic, what did you expect? The Molt, welcome to the Molt. 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 The Molt, welcome to the Molt.